hair is out and my spirits are up because this weekend I've had the chance to see Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes not once but twice. And boy, was my pickle tickled with this one, because Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes not only managed to exceed expectations but also expand upon this universe in a way nobody thought it ever could. And boy, am I glad. Honestly, I've been a fan of the Andy Serkis's Planet of the Apes films since Rise of the Planet of the Apes, and I think these movies are extremely underrated. You never see these films talked about ever in conversation, and the fans that are out there, they're very hidden. Like, you gotta go through the deep pits of Reddit to find them. That being said, I thought War for the Planet of the Apes would end the trilogy in a perfect manner, and nothing else can come of that. So imagine my surprise when Disney announced that they would be dusting out the old film franchise and coming out with a new one in the summer of 2024 as part of their Fox buyout. They bought 20th Century Fox in 2023. This is just one of many of the popular franchises from 20th Century Fox that they'll be bringing back. Alien, Predator, and of course the X-Men. I thought these films would be like a completely soulless cash grab, but from what I've seen, if this is the way that Disney will be going with the 20th Century Fox roster, all power to them, because this could put them back at the top. I was surprised when I walked out of this film feeling just as satisfied as I was with the first three, except for War. I actually walked out of that film depressed. We all know what happened at the end. I really can't get into it without crossing some spoiler lines, so brace yourself. I'm going to be explaining some of the things that made me love the film so much, and I can't do it without getting to specific details, so brace yourself. We're getting into mild spoiler territory. So the first three films follow the origins of a man-made disease that would make apes intelligent and infected humans would go feral, and it'll show the power struggle between man and ape as they fight for dominance over the world. This film flashes forward to, what was it, about 300 years, and apes have now completely taken over and humans have become the secondary species. How you say it. In this film, we follow a young ape named Noah, who is a part of a tribe that breeds and raises African eagles. And after his tribe is abducted by a cult-like group of apes, he must team up with an old orangutan named Raka and a intelligent human named May to get them back. So I initially walked into this film a little skeptical because I didn't know where they would take it after War for the Planet of the Apes. Caesar died, they found a new home, and they became the completely dominant species. We thought that would be it. There would be no more movies after that, right? But they did this very, very well. It was actually a really, really, really good transition into the plot of this movie. They did a good job at establishing personality. They did a good job at introducing the characters, the new characters like Noah, Suna, and Anaya. The transitions were seamless. Like, for example, at the beginning, they do like a short recap of the first three movies, and they do show like them burying Caesar's body and burning Caesar's body after he died. In the last movie, War for the Planet of the Apes, they do show like a little clip of his son Cornelius, the baby that he had in the last movie. They didn't spend too much time on exposition. They didn't try to like bore you with explanation of what was going to happen. It was short, sweet, straight to the point, and you got all the information you needed. It was 2 hours and 25 minutes. They used the full thing and they used it well. They didn't try to shove it down your throat that this was the same universe but a different movie. You know how the female Ghostbusters tried to do that, but they failed because that movie sucked? In a way, this film was about Caesar, but Caesar's gone. He's not in the film. His lessons, everything that he did was present. The apes in this world follow Caesar's teachings and look at him more like a legend in a way, a religion. The orangutan Raka, he was a preacher of Caesar's teachings. He taught Caesar's ways, the history of what Caesar did in a positive light. Then we had the villain Proximus, who saw himself as the second becoming of Caesar. He saw himself as Caesar's predecessor. He handled it more in a guerrilla warfare type of way. He started a cult in this movie that would abduct other tribes and make them do his bidding. He tried to start a kingdom with them. Proximus spun Caesar's life to appeal to his own interests. I think this was an interesting dynamic to see, as like in the first 3 movies we saw the apes fighting humans for dominance over the world. Who's going to be the dominant species, ape or man? Ultimately it became ape, as we see in this movies, but the apes are having more of a struggle of ideology. Whose way is better? Something we really didn't get much of in the last few movies. Of course, we had like a little bit of that with Koba versus Caesar in Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, or the Planet of the Apes. We had Red the gorilla helping the humans fight Caesar. We had kind of like dynamics like that, but we never had like a full dynamic of these apes completely fighting for the dominant way. Apes will rule the earth, how they will walk the earth. Humans in this world are having the same kind of struggle. Which way is going to be the right way? Do we bow down to the apes, or do we try to fight the apes and get this world back? But overall, it was a refreshing take. They're questioning the existence, why the apes are the way they are, why the law is the way the law is. What is the right way to do things? Do we take the most peaceful route, or do we go the guerrilla warfare route that Proximus is doing? Our protagonist, Noah, was actually a perfect stand-in for Caesar. He was so much alike Caesar, but in his own different, unique way. Caesar was this scared adolescent ape at the beginning of his movies to become this fearless alpha male that would lead the apes to freedom. Noah, in his own way, is doing the exact same thing. He's taking less of a violent route, taking more of a mental freedom. He's being peaceful. He wants peace in this new ape world. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if he ends up being related to Caesar, like if they reveal that in the next few movies, because they are just so similar. I'm gonna be honest, they kind of do look a little bit alike, but I don't know. We'll have to see in the next few movies. Proximus was such a fun villain. He was super goofy, but he was also like super menacing when he came on stage. You enjoyed every time he came on screen, but also you knew why he can't prevail in the end. He was such a good villain. You can tell Kevin Durant was having so much fun recording these lines. It sounded like it was coming so naturally that it couldn't have been all acting. He was probably improvising or something in the studio, just having fun with it. It was just like such a natural delivery throughout the entire film that I couldn't help but smile. He was funny, he was witty, he was strong. He was kind of like taking the Koba role in this. He has a certain way that he thinks the apes should fight for their freedom, more of like a weaponized the apes, go to war with the humans, completely run to the ground type of thing. I was honestly surprised that Kobo didn't serve like an antagonist kind of deity role in this film. Maybe in the second one, I don't know. As for negatives I had with the film, I can't really say much because I didn't really have negatives for the film. I guess if I can say one, that wouldn't be for me personally, but it would probably be for like somebody who's not a fan of these movies or doesn't enjoy like a good storytelling movie. I would say the runtime, 2 hours and 25 minutes. I feel like that would be too long for somebody who doesn't like these type of movies, doesn't like Planet of the Apes. Don't get me wrong, some storytelling movies that are just boring, long, and annoying. This one, like I said, they completely utilized the runtime in a perfect way. Another gripe I had was what they did with the character of Raka in this movie. He died, but it was in the worst way possible. He was a good character with an unfortunate fate. What did they do to kill him off? He sacrificed himself for May. Fuck May. It just sucks to me because I feel like they could have just done more with the character, and oh my god, bro, we're just gonna have to film the rest of the video without a light. They could have done so much more with the character, but they kind of like ruined that chance, just like killing him off in this movie. All for May, bro. I'm not gonna lie, I don't like May, but I think that was intentional. I see a lot of people say they do not like the character of May. May was the intelligent human that they were walking around with in this film, And honestly, she serves as like an anti-hero kind of character, and they did such a good job at making you hate her, even though you know that they're setting her up for like the next few films or whatever they're planning, because she does show a little bit compassion for the apes, but at the same time, she wants them all dead. And honestly, they do such a good job at making you hate her just for this movie that you do not have any other reason to like her or anything, or think that she's a good person, because she's such a trashy human in this one. And she's the intelligent one. So what I gave Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes on the old scale here was 4.7. I took the last 0.3 only because of what they did to Raka. I know the character of May and everything was intentional, so they keep those points. I'll let that one slide this time. Overall, I just love this film just as much as I love the original trilogy. It was a good setup for what's to come. I honestly cannot wait to see what they can possibly do next. Yeah, that's really all I got for you today. For those of you who haven't seen it, I don't know why you're here, but I urge you to go watch this film. Then come back and tell me what you think about it in the comments. And those of you who've seen it already, still tell me what you think in the comments. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more. Follow the socials in my description. Peace.